There's a variety of new initiatives from coast to coast with CARP and its chapters, but what do you feel it is that specifically attracts people to the organization?
Well, I think the fact that our membership is, the cost-wise, is only $20, and there's such great value for the membership. There's advocacy, which is so important for people right now. The benefits are great perks. Community is really important for us in our chapter right now, as we are trying to really focus on seniors in our community and do some really great things, partner with other organizations who are struggling to raise money for different initiatives, create awareness, and we're finding that we're the link that's starting to bring people together. And we're raising awareness, we're raising money for organizations, and it's really needed where we are.
I think what attracts people to CARP is that it is a new vision of aging. That's my perspective anyway. So at 48, I look at it as an organization that will provide advocacy and support for me as I go through that journey. But more importantly, it bridges the gap between the generations. So the 45 to 105, we bring them together so that we can learn from each other and we can work together as a larger team going forward. A typical CARP member would be someone that's looking for information on advocacy, community support, benefits, support, community, socialization, healthy aging.
How strong is this need for CARP in our country?
Oh, I think it's huge. I think that the education portion of it is as important as the advocacy side. We need to get out, we need to talk to people and educate them and break down the barriers that they have.
Montreal Metro West chapter, brand new. Was it in need?
There was a need in Montreal because not having had a chapter, not having had a chance to get together, not having had a chance to, as a community of people with common interests and common needs. So there was a very strong need in Montreal for a chapter, and in fact, there's probably even a greater need for a French chapter, which I understand is in the works and look forward to and would in fact be very happy to assist with.
There's a lot of new initiatives coast to coast with our chapters, including Montreal now. But what is it that you feel attracts people to these chapters, CARP specifically?
There's a variety of things that attracts them to the chapter. One is the social contact of the kinds of activities, whether they're fun activities or educational activities. It's social contact, and senior people do have to be careful that they don't become isolated and withdrawn, so that's the first attraction. The second is the opportunity to be involved in doing something of a philanthropic or community service nature, which many of our members have expressed they're interested in doing. And not just with the other kinds of organizations that exist, but one that gets very involved as we're trying to do with our community. So that's another reason that people are coming forward. A third reason, interestingly, is because of issues that are very, very personal to them. So whether it's full-time caretaking for an Alzheimer's-stricken husband or wife, or whether it's finding themselves parenting their grandchildren because bad things have happened with their own children. I'm finding that there's quite a few personal causes that are coming forward that people are interested in not just helping themselves with, but helping others in the same situation with. So that's turning out to be a very strong motive for people to come forward.
I heard from your talk that you were a little surprised by the amount of people who initially turned out, and the fact that you had to turn some of these individuals away from your opening meeting. Explain to me again, if you could, that need, that want in Montreal for an organization like CARP.
Well, the need for the organization was simply, I guess, a jealousy of the other provinces having chapters and us not having a chapter. But on top of that was the fact that they did not have an opportunity to even exchange with each other, people who have common issues and common needs. So that turned out to be the drive. And I have to also admit that we did a pretty hard push on PR in the community, getting on radio talk shows, maximizing other organizations' PR delivery messages. So we didn't actually turn anybody away at the door, but what we did was, as people were calling or emailing in to register, once we reached the capacity for the room we were in, we had to start telling people on the phone and by email, sorry, we're taking a note of who you are, we're very welcome next time. And
what do you believe it is that attracts people to CARP?
Well, I think everybody's getting older, and I think everybody has some serious concerns of what life is going to be. And I think a lot of people are now actively participating in changing the way we age. We're not our grandparents' generation. We're the Zoomers, and we're not going to age the same way. And our generation is just going to make sure that we age in a very active and participatory way. And it's new ground. It's going where man has never gone before. It's it's Star Trek.
Our chapter is very focused on advocacy issues. It's important that we let organizations and governments know what the needs are. We can identify the needs and offer some suggestions for their programming. So, that's one important role. Other areas offer social interaction, other education and learning opportunities. There's just a variety. So I think that whatever the person is interested in, there's an area of CARP that can connect with that. CARP members are people who have retired. There's that element that they have retired and have some time available for doing some volunteer work with CARP. Another typical CARP member is we have an older group in our chapter, so people in their 80s and 90s. We had a 90-year-old lady that traveled almost 2 hours on the bus to get to our CARP meeting a couple weeks ago. So they're the feisty older people. That's the new vision of aging. They're not sitting back in their apartments. So there's the broad age range there.